Well, hey everyone, it's Marcus, and welcome to more chatting in my jungle room. Um, I am pumped, thrilled, excited because I'm talking to a friend that I spoke to about a year ago. A lot has happened in this year, and they have just brought out a brand new album today. We're going to speak about it, but speak to him first. Bully, hey, how you doing?
Hello, good. I'm very well, thank you. Slightly pumped and slightly kind of frazzled. It's been a big day. It's
It's been a
good.
big day, but it's been a big year since we spoke last. Because last time we spoke,
Yeah.
you brought out your previous album.
hmm
Today you have just brought out your brand new album. Now, I mean, I'm just going to call it like it is. All right, let me bang on for a second. But there's another UK artist that brought out an album today. You've totally drowned out his thunder. Poor
All
Harry
right.
Styles brought out an album the same day as you. And no one's even talking about it because they're talking about Bully Hayes' album. Sorry, Harry.
Sorry, not sorry.
I know, right? So the album is called Anywhere But Here. If you were anywhere but here, where would you want to be right now?
I am right where I need to be. But yeah, but for a good couple of years, I felt I wanted to be anywhere but here. So yeah, no, I'm feeling good. Feeling good.
So tell me, the inspiration for the album, where have all the songs come from? Where's the ideas for the music come from?
Well, I tend to generally write music first and then words form around that. So I kind of don't know what I'm writing about until I've finished a song and I go back and look at the page and I realized over the last couple of years that writing is therapy for me. And so I kind of look at what's on the page and I go, oh, that's what that means. Okay, you've got problems. And yeah, I guess this album's quite personal. It was really written. I didn't know it at the time, but it was written before, during, and after a very long relationship breakup. And so it kind of traces, some of the songs aren't completely literal, but it traces that vibe and roller coaster of being crushed and then needing to reinvent and be reborn again. So yeah, they it came from that period, probably the last 12 to 18 months. Mm.
So, do you define the last album, which was 2024, to this album, the beginning of 2026? Is there a vast difference in the inspiration between these two albums?
Yeah, I would say so. The first album had songs on it that, were maybe for me 10 or 15 years old. So was one of the, that's what happens with a debut album, I guess, is that you've got all this time in the world to just have these songs that have just lived forever in your mind, and then you're just going into a studio and laying them down. So I didn't have that this time. So these were all kind of fresh creations. Um, and where it might be sonically different is the first album that I did was produced and engineered and recorded by Jeff Martin from the Tea Party.
Yeah, amazing
Yeah,
guy.
and he's a good friend of mine from that experience, and I learned a lot from him being in the studio with him. But this album was recorded at my home studio and produced and engineered by me and my drummer Drew Castles.
Yeah.
So we feel like we're kind of the little ducks that have found their wings and kind of. So it's different in that sense, sonically, and also kind of maybe a bit, for me, it feels like a bit maturer in the songwriting skill level, like after having that first one and then being on tour for the last year or so. So yeah, it's a bit different.
Well, I gave it a good listen through this morning.
Mhm.
Obviously, so I was prepared for this interview today, and gave it a good listen through. Probably about a listen through and a half, actually. One of
Mm.
the songs that stuck out for me is one of my favorites. I mean, well, all the songs are awesome. Obviously, because they all mean something special. But one of the songs that I really pricked my ears up with was "I Can Be Your Lover." The
Mm.
acoustic version of I Can Be Your Lover. Have you
Yep.
got a personal favorite from the track that really means something extra special for you?
Um, yeah, there's probably I think it's the second last track on the album called Talk Me Off the Edge. And it's a song there that it's about finding yourself. So the lyrics there are quite they're poetic and they're non-literal. So they're kind of talking about being it's the theme of being on a journey and being lost.
Yeah.
And and as you know, you're sitting under a willow tree and the old willow is talking to you, and yeah, and that song kind of broods into this chorus, that is it enough to know what we are and where we stand? Is it enough to know who we are, basically, to talk you off the edge, just to understand yourself and go on with life positively. So that's kind of one that I like the most at the moment.
Mm.
But people that will listen to it will be like, "What the hell does this even mean?" But for me, I'm like, it means something to me. So
And
yeah.
I mean, Bully, people will listen to the music and take their own interpretation of those lyrics anyway. You could write
Yeah,
it in with something in your head, but the way people interpret it, is totally different anyways.
yeah,
And
that's right. I love that about music. Yeah, what it means to you could mean something completely different to someone else.
yeah.
So open to interpretation. Mm.
Hey, I'm going to ask you, obviously, like you say, a lot of this inspiration for this album was, based on a relationship, a decent, good relationship breakup, which is hard enough as it is. But when you're actually writing lyrics based on that, have you ever written lyrics that you thought, oh my gosh, that's just getting too much. I don't know if I want to really put that into a song.
Um, no, I think I just let it happen, surrender and let it come out. I mean, after I'd finished the album and I listened back to some of the songs, they could be listened to and interpreted to mean something that maybe they're not. Like I said, I'm not completely literal with my writing, so I could be referring to something that didn't happen. So it's kind of yeah, open to interpretation on that side as well. But no, I think it's if it was that bad in terms of the message I was putting out, and I was frightened that someone would hear something they shouldn't, I wouldn't put it out. But I haven't had that experience yet. I kind of just want it to be pure and let the songs speak for themselves.
No names are mentioned.
No.
Hey, so with a bit of your lyric writing, is pretty much a lot of the work based on your experiences, or sometimes do you draw from what is going on in the world, or even what is going on with some of your friends' situations? How where
Yeah,
do you get your
absolutely.
stuff from?
Yeah, there's one on there that was our second single that came out, Another Lost Soldier, and topical at the moment. Apparently, there's some terrible things happening in the world. Um, but that song, the words are talking about, fighting in the trenches and that kind of thing. And it's emotionally, about friends of mine that have been going through hard times and doing the best that they possibly could, but no one's noticing the effort that they're putting in. So, yeah, that song in particular is it's not all about me. It's watching your buddies go through the trenches,
Mm.
and yeah, and then I guess the metaphor is the soldier fighting, but yeah, so you never know. I don't know what's happening usually. It just it just happens, and I just got to press record when it's happening, or I forget what I've done.
Like Bully, I feel like you wake up every day at the moment and there's just something else you need to kind of digest that's gone on in the world. The world is
Yeah.
constantly changing and we're getting thrown more and more stuff every single day. What happened
Mm.
yesterday is so passé because now we need to deal with this. And like
Yeah.
I say, that, there's so many war situations at the moment. There's just not a lot of peace in the world at the moment. And if you're an artist, I guess there's plenty of content you can draw from. Um, so moving on from that, is there going to be a tour behind this album? Can we expect to see an Australian tour happen this year?
Yeah, yep, absolutely. We've got a Tassie tour because I'm from down in Hobart,
Yep.
but we've got a Tassie tour booked throughout April,
Yep.
and then we're going to just let this release sit and settle a little. But we're booking, basically in the process of booking festival circuits across the country,
Mm.
and we'll definitely be coming out to Adelaide. Um, so that will be very, very fun. Our plan this time is to kind of be flying in, flying out, hitting some festivals and playing some side shows around and coming back to the island and just kind of scooting around. As last year's touring schedule was quite full on and brutal. We survived it, but it was a lot. So yeah, but yes, absolutely. We'll be rolling out across the country this year for sure. And there could be some a tour to Canada as well, potentially supporting Jeff
Wow.
Martin, which will be more of an acoustic thing that I'll go and do. Yeah, but lots of good things in the works.
You are such an inspirational artist with what you do with your music and the stories that you tell. I mean, your work, your creative art is storytelling, and it's truth and authentic, and it's awesome. So keep on doing what you're doing. As far
Thank you.
as inspiration goes, who is another artist at the moment that is inspiring you?
Yeah, good question. The war on drugs at the moment, it's like kind of listening to them a hell of a lot. There's a couple of tunes on that album that remind me a little bit of war on drugs songs. I love that. I'm starting to kind of come back into this late 80s, early 90s nostalgia sound, you know.
Yeah,
So some synths and chorus and flanger guitars and things like that that open up the space in a song. So yeah, but I mean that's where I was born and raised. So I'm kind of like I remember being that age, going through it, going, oh, this is all lame, the way people would dress, the way the songs were, everyone's hair, and now I'm like, that was so cool, like. And so I'm kind of listening to a lot of The Cure and
Oh,
and that kind of thing. But now yeah, but I could kind of flip to the other side too and get into like Nine Inch Nails and some heavier stuff as well.
yeah.
I've never kind of realized, I've never been able to decide what kind of album I should write because some of it goes to this ballady sea shanty songwriter stuff, and then the other side of these big anthemic rock songs.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of, yeah, playing with all of it at the moment.
Bully, hey, you had me at the cure. Robert Smith and his Truth are just amazing. It's
I
definitely
know.
go to good few albums of theirs that I have on repeat. Definitely,
Yep.
I'm with you.
So,
Yeah, you haven't
yep.
lost me at all. Um,
Good.
hey, so when you finish an album, answer me this. When you finish an album, do you sit and relish in that for, a good while and really appreciate what you've just created? Or instantly do you start creating more music, for another upcoming album? How do you work?
Well, I've already started creating more music. But the thing is with this, and maybe the way my mind works is this album is done, but I'm so sick of my own songs, like, and so sick of the music. And outwardly we're pushing out, and it's exciting for people because they haven't heard the songs, but I've heard them about 100,000 times as we've been working on them over a year, tweaking the little mixes and getting, oh, we should add this harmony and rah, rah, rah. And so by the time it comes out, I'm like, oh, like it's a big sigh and a release. It's kind of let it go. And I'm already thinking about the next one. But I'm trying to live in the moment and like let it actually settle and sit. So
Can
I
you,
think maybe after the kind of this week of the kind of, the big hoo-ha about it all, I'll be able to listen to it properly.
well, it's only today. It's only come out today. So,
I know.
time for you
There's
to.
just so much work goes into it to kind of get to that day.
Yeah. And you know what? If you're not listening to your own album, listen to Harry Styles because give the guy a bit of love already, all right? You stole
Who?
his, you
Yeah.
stole the attention. Hey, so can you listen to your own music? Can you listen to your album and take the ego side of yourself out of it and just listen to it as a piece of music? Or do you listen to your music knowing that it's full-blown you blah blah blah. How does your head work that way?
No, it's more like clinical doctor-patient relationship, looking down at the operating table, going, that shouldn't be there. We better fix that, you
Yeah,
know. Yeah, it's actually not until the guy, one of the guys that mixed the album, that was mixed by Christian Pyle at Prawn and Spanner Studios up in Byron, and Tony Sayer down here in Hobart. And Christian was saying, after he's finished mixing an album, he can't listen to it for like 6 months. He has to forget about everything that happened. And I'm a bit like that in terms of enjoying the music that I've written. I have to have not heard it for a long time, and then I've forgotten about most of it, and I go, "Oh shit, that's a good song. That's good. Yeah, I can't believe I did that."
that-
But yeah, but at the moment, during the creative process, it's hard to kind of sit back and listen to it as someone else, and it's dangerous to do that as well because you start thinking about what should I do in this song that would make somebody else like it, and that's probably the worst trap you can ever fall into,
yeah,
because you can't please everyone, so you've just got to make music that you would want to hear yourself.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because you know what? Let's come back to the A word. That's what makes it all authentic, and that's what people will resonate with over and over. Especially
yeah,
when it's got, we live in a period now where people can create music in so many different arenas and areas, and with AI, etc.
mm, yep,
That if it's not authentic, people will not resonate with it at all. Because
that's right.
other
Yep.
stuff they can. Um, okay, now let's get to the big question. All right. You've almost got as many guitars as I have indoor plants.
You
I've,
haven't seen the other wall.
let me talk about your guitars. So you've got quite a few arrayed back behind you there. Which one's your favorite?
Is it even on this one? Probably this one here, which is it's probably out of tune. It is out of tune, but it's Maton Messiah,
Yep.
which is pretty much my tried and true road guitar. There's that one there, and I've got another Maton 12 string, which is on every show as well. That one probably gets just as much of a workout as that one. But a lot of our songs are in different tunings, so it's either kind of bringing three or four guitars or taking two and needing a guitar tech to come and fix them up between songs. But always the Maton acoustics.
Yep.
Maton, you should listen because I want them to endorse me.
Uh, yes, please. We need sponsors, everybody. Um,
Right.
hey, Bully Hayes' album is out today. It is Friday, the 6th of March. Um, Poor Harry Styles, give him a listen to as well if you want to. I don't know. I don't care what you're into, but make sure that you spread the love for arts and entertainment and the music and artistic world that we're all living in. And spread joy, spread cheer. Anywhere but here is Bully Hayes' album, and I love it. I absolutely just have got it on repeat at the moment. Bully Hay, thanks for the chat. I love catching up with you. I know this is our second one, and I know there's going to be a third, fourth, fifth.
Excellent. Thank you, Marcus. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it and all the best with everything you've got on the go too.
Thank you. Have a great 2026. And this is the year I'm going to finally see you live right here in Adelaide.
You will.
Thanks, my friends. Cheers.
Thanks, man. No worries.